Finally, the moment a couple of you have been waiting for.
It's all like bing bong, Jack.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Duval and St. Johns County. The show for Jag fans by Jag fans.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
Here are your hosts, Franklin and Michael how you say it? DeZoba. Welcome to the Jaggernaut Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages, I want to welcome you back to another Jaggernaut Podcast. Mike, as always, got my brother Frank. Frank, let him know who you ready. That's how we do. All right. Well, if you haven't heard, we have finally got some news outside of the draft. You know, we've done our podcast on that. Now we get to know when we are playing the teams. We knew who we were playing. Now we get to know when, where, and what time. Frank, go ahead and throw that graphic up. Show them the schedule.
Got it up.
Awesome. What are you thinking, Frank? What are you thinking?
Okay, so, I mean, immediately, it's funny because the thing that parts of the schedule were being released, or people were somehow piecing the schedule together before the official release, and I think I even posted it on Discord, and it was pretty much this same schedule. I think the difference was they had the Ravens in week 2 instead of the Chiefs. They kind of swapped them. This is an amazing schedule for the Jaguars as far as I'm concerned. I mean, and I think maybe just go. There's so many different ways to attack this and go at this to try to figure out I mean, first off, I think the thing that jumped out, let me just go this way. What jumped out at me was I knew we were going to be playing tougher teams this year, but if you look at this schedule, we're actually playing the tougher teams at home. It's incredible. The only team we play away that is one of the upper tier echelon teams is the Bills, but that's in London. So
is that really a way?
Yeah, exactly. So
inquisitive minds want to know, because I don't think so.
To me, that's the thing that jumped out at me right out of the bat.
So for me, dude, we have been bitching and complaining about not having primetime games. We now have 3 primetime games, all right? So we have a Monday night, we have a 2 Thursday nights, I think, right? I'm trying to think.
And then no, we only have 1 Thursday night.
And then where are we playing the other one at?
So we've got we got 4 primetime games if you consider the London. Well, there's
why
2
not
London
5
games. So
yeah, so there's 5.
If you want to look at it that way, I don't know.
I'm talking about like night games. So we got the Bengals at night. We have the Ravens, I know, at night. And then I saw one more in here. And we got the Saints at night. So I thought it was 2, maybe it's 2 Monday nights. 2 Monday nights and a Thursday night.
No,
I'll take that.
Well, it's a Thursday, a Monday, and a Sunday. That's what you're thinking.
Oh, we get a Sunday night.
Yeah, we get to play the Ravens at home. So think about, this is the other thing too. Because they're marquee matchups, right? We're playing the Bengals Monday Night Football in Jacksonville. We're playing the Ravens Sunday Night Football in Jacksonville. We're playing the Bills. Okay, that's our quote-unquote away game, but we're not going to Buffalo to play that game. We're going to London, which you could argue is almost like a home field advantage for us.
There's an argument, but I think it's better to call that a neutral site game.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you could definitely argue that it's not home field advantage for us, or it's not home field advantage for them. I think it's just more of a neutral site game. So So I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's a good schedule. I think there are a lot of good teams. The harder teams we definitely have here at home, or again, we're in London, which is neutral site. I think that's amazing. Honestly, I think if we could just control our division, I know everybody says, well, you got to win your division, right? So if we can beat our division opponents, I think we're sitting nice. We should have home field advantage, and it should be something very positive for us.
Are you seeing the issues with my camera on your end there?
Yeah, I see them. It's blinking and doing some crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Amazon camera. I think I
Well,
fixed it. I fixed it.
well, I got a Walmart camera, so I can't really say much different.
Yeah, it's a very finicky camera. Yeah, I mean
No,
that's
this one seems all right.
and so it appears the Saints game is also here. So I don't know,
Well,
man. I can't.
yeah. So why is the league?
No.
Why
I'm
is
sorry. I'm sorry. The Saints game is actually in New
in
Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Why is the NFL being nice to us?
Well, the thinking.
Because the NFL hates us. The national media can't stand the fact we have a team here. I mean, everybody else's fan base, I don't know why,
Is it a
but they hate us too. Huh?
A mistake?
Yeah, it's almost like the NFL views us as the redhead stepchild. We're a small market. We didn't show up for the team, so therefore we don't deserve the team. That's the way I believe that the national media looks at us. It's the way that the NFL looks at us. And it pisses me off because if you're a Jags fan who lives here or a Jags fan somewhere in the damn country, you know for a fact the problem wasn't the fans. The
Right.
problem was the product on the field.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, maybe I don't know what to say about it. The truth of the matter is
Why, why is the NFL treating us nicely? Why are they doing this? You know, I always want to say what's going on.
well, some people theorize that the fact that we have worked with the NFL in regards to the London thing, that they then acquiesce to our requests for the schedule. Now, to that end, that does take place to some extent, you know. So, in other words, my understanding is that because we say to them, yes, we'll play a home game in London, which takes one of your games away for your home field fans, that what they basically do is they say, for sure, you can we'll massage the bye week for you. You know, do you want the bye week after the London game to prepare? That was one of the stories. Was apparently the thinking is you would need the bye week after the London game, you know, to sort of recoup. And last year apparently Doug was like, no, I don't want that. I want the bye week in the middle of the season. So he chose where the bye week landed. But because of the London game, basically they said you can choose your bye week almost. So we actually got that sort of, we got catered to for that. Now, does it go further than that? I don't know. Is there some sort of idea? It could be a couple of different things. It could be that. It could be that coupled with the fact that that we are a good team now. You know, in other words, it is. The thing is this: we are a very interesting product right now because we played the Chiefs tough, and we had that amazing game against the Chargers. So we have a marketable product. So they do want to give us the primetime games now. It's in their best interest.
And I could agree with that because
That's two
look,
things at once.
The Ravens game last year, must see TV. The Dallas game, must see TV. The last game against Tennessee, must see TV. And if you missed that damn playoff game, I don't know where you were, because the whole country should have been tuned in watching that game because that is must see TV. So maybe with that, they figure you're right. We're up and coming. They're putting together a decent product on the field. They have a bit of an electricity.
Yeah.
that America's buying into, so we're gonna feed off of it. And I like that. It's about time.
It's nice. It's it's refreshing considering what you talked about. The fact that there hasn't been that there really hasn't been this sort of desire appears on the NFL's part to really push, and in fairness there wasn't any reason to, podunk Jacksonville, podunk team, can't get rights, let's not I mean, think about the past few years of Thursday night footballs that they have given us have been absolute disasters for us, and they usually put us up against the Titans, who are wrecking our division, and they just destroy us every Thursday night. So, and then they'd make us wear those stupid color rush.
Yeah.
We come out in mustard yellow and
Mm-hmm.
gold, I guess, and they come out in the baby puke blue color that they had. So that wasn't compelling must-see TV right there. So I don't know. That's as much as I could say about that. I think it's just a matter of right now we're in a sweet spot, and this is what a great quarterback does for you, I guess. I mean, you got
and coach and team. Like our team is up and coming. Right? Have we arrived? I don't know. I want to say so, but I know that's me saying that with teal colored glasses. So what I will say is I believe we're up and coming. This schedule, however, is more than good enough to tell us exactly where we belong. I mean, look at it this way. We got the Colts in week 1, right? I kind of like that. Starting off with the division foe. They got 2 new quarterbacks, so their quarterback will be new. I like that. They don't have time to get into sync. Cool. Boom. Turn around. Got the Chiefs here.
home opener
With the Chiefs. All right. Yeah. Then we got another division game. We got the Texans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Then we got the Falcons, right? So we go over to London. We got the Falcons. Dude, I'm looking at like 3-1, maybe 4-0. No worse than 2-2 out of the first quarter, right?
Makes sense.
So, man, I just keep going on and on. We stay in London, and people can get mad about that all they want to. I'm not upset. It's 1 away game, 1 home game. We wouldn't have it anyway. Better in London than in Orchard Park. Orchard Park. Nobody wants to see people getting doused with ketchup and mustard. Nobody cares.
And jumping through tables.
And yeah, I mean, it's not the WCW or whatever they want to be or their claim to fame. So then we come home and then we got the Colts again, then the Saints, the Steelers, and we got the 49ers. Right? Then we get in the Titans. It's funny, we don't touch the Titans until well into the season.
Yeah.
Which
right after a bye.
It could be
Think
good.
About that, right after a bye. That's one of the toughest games. We get them at home on a bye, right after a bye.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like it. I like it because they're going to be well coached and they're going to run Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So
Derrick Henry's going to have what? 9 games worth of tread on those tires? So, okay, give me that. I'm fine with that. And we turn around again for another divisional foe, Texans, and then boom, Bengals here.
Yeah.
And they're going to bill it, right? It's Trevor versus Burrow.
Right.
That's what it's going to be.
And so that was a great game 2 years ago.
With Urban Meyer.
Yeah. I mean, we should have won that game. And there's no telling what's the scenario with Joe Mixon. I don't remember. I haven't seen an update on that yet.
I don't know. That's still out in the wind, and I'm sure as the season starts our training camp draws closer, we'll know more. So then we got the Browns, then the Ravens game, we got the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and then we finish it out with the Titans.
Yeah.
So my hope is that we don't need this Titan game.
Yeah, no, that's very possible.
Does it mean I don't want to beat the shit out of them? Nope. I want to drag them through the mud again.
The crap out of them with our second stringers.
So That would be nice. Rest Trevor,
Yeah.
rest the boys, and put in
Get
everybody
CJ
else.
Beathard in there.
Tank Bigsby.
Yeah. Tank
Woo!
Bigsby. Slap it on him.
So yeah, I mean, to me, the schedule, it's a great schedule for us. This really is what playoff caliber teams get. It's what their fans get every year, and now we get it. I think
Well,
it's awesome.
you know what's interesting? Is it though? Because if you look at, and I haven't gone through the seasons, like one of the things I'd like to do is see who what the 49ers are doing the week before they play us, because we're coming off a bye. I'm curious if they gave them a bye as well. Stuff like that. The good teams. What does their schedule look like? I know that the Bills have not got the same, because you think about the matchup they've got with us, they really got screwed because, I mean, I think, and it could work to their advantage. That's something that we should discuss. But on paper, it appears that the advantage is ours. They lose a home game. They have to go to London. And here's the interesting thing about that. We just got done talking about how you get this sort of, help from the league when you decide to give up a home game. Here the Bills are traveling to London, playing one of the better teams in the league now. That's what we are. In what is a place where they're much more familiar at playing. So it's almost like you gave up a home game, not for a neutral site, technically a neutral site, but in a way, kind of, you're playing an away game at their place to a certain extent. I mean, the Jags are used to London. They go there every year. And the idea that the Bills have to go there, and then if you look at their schedule, they have the opposite schedule we have. So they didn't get any help from the league. So all the help that we got, whereas we play the Chiefs and we play the 49ers and we play the Ravens at home, they got none of that. They play all of the good teams away. So,
And do you know why?
No. Do you?
Yes, I have a theory. Here's
Okay.
my theory. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, flesh that out for me.
Okay, I think the NFL did this on purpose to promote Aaron Rodgers, to promote the Jets. I think they believe that the Jets are going to be the hot team this year, and it's them. It's not the Bills. I'm not saying it's not going to be the Bills personally. I hope the Bills whoop them, but I believe that the NFL is looking at the Jets, because the Jets got five primetime games. Why? They weren't good last year.
Yeah,
Great
well,
last year.
The defense was really good. Defense was really good.
Yeah, but okay, so but do you see
It's
what I'm
New
saying?
York.
Do you see my point? But that's my
Real
point.
New York, not
Not Buffalo,
rural Canada,
not Buffalo, New York. Yeah,
but
right. Southern Canada. That's awful,
that's a
man.
shot over the bow of the Bills. Now, in fairness, I say that jokingly because I'd much prefer that section of New York, I assume, and the people, than I would the actual city. And of course, I say that, but the truth is that the Bills are the only ones that actually play in New York State. So, it's really New Jersey. So where that, but it's the Big Apple. It's Joe. I mean, my gosh, the Jets, Joe Namath, all that sort of.
Hoopla.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain teams that the NFL wants to recapture their old majesty. If the Steelers, God forbid the Steelers start having a good team, oh gosh, we're gonna, that we'll never hear the end of it. There's certain teams that sort of get the Cowboys, the Jets, the Steelers. I'm sure there's a few other ones. I think the 49ers get some play from the league. There's certain apples of the league's eye that get special privilege. So it could be true. Maybe the Bills, as much as they're a sort of fan favorite, it isn't about the fans. It's really, and we see that in our culture. It's more or less about those in charge and what they want, as opposed to what the fan base, of the actual league probably wants.
I mean, honestly, I have no dog in the fight. I don't care if it's Bills or I don't care if it's Jets. But if you are going to send a team over, you should give them something.
Yeah, I think they got screwed. The
You know,
Bills really have
so
and I was on their Twitter feed and because I wanted to see what the schedule looked like. And man, I was surprised nobody was complaining about it. Like I would absolutely, because as much as I'm looking at the schedule that we got and going, holy crap, how did the league give us this schedule? This must be some kind of mistake in our favor. Um, they got the opposite, and but yet none of their fans. I mean, I didn't scroll forever, but I scrolled down and their fans were thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna win. You know, the typical fan stuff, and I'm thinking, y'all don't see that schedule they just dished out to you? I mean, how are none of y'all should be bitching about that, man. So it should have been a little bit of a
and
mix, I think.
truth be told, they're not the only team that probably got a dirty
Right.
schedule.
I didn't look at all the schedules, so
Lord
I don't.
knows, we've had years where we've gotten bad schedules. Now, we've had years when you looked at the teams coming in and you're like, I don't want to see any of these teams. They're garbage.
Yeah.
And then you put Jacksonville, who was garbage at the time, there too, and it's like, all right, I'm not going.
Well, I saw Warren Sharp.
So,
Warren Sharp on Twitter posted where he went through, and instead of doing the how they ranked last year type thing, he was and projecting that as the strength of schedule. He said, well, maybe we should project how they're supposed to do this year and then use that to rank the schedule. And I think what he basically showed was we were one of the better teams. I think we were ninth, something like that. Maybe even better than that. But I think that was just strength of schedule. That didn't count when you played the games. Which if you count when you play the games, I think ours has to go up to one of the best schedules in the league, I would imagine.
yeah, I mean, so if you look at strength of schedule, honestly, our strength of schedule it says it's in our favor. But the only reason is because many people believe that the AFC South is a horrible division.
Yeah.
And I can't really argue. I can't argue.
It is on paper. The Colts could turn it around. It's weird how the NFL works. Going into this offseason, we do look at it and we go, oh man, we should take this division easy, which is interesting because that is not what we were saying last offseason. But again, that sort of emphasizes the point. We were saying something completely different last offseason. Maybe come next offseason, we'll be talking about how competitive and how ridiculous this division is. Because we do have 3 brand new quarterbacks in our division. The Colts roster's pretty good. The Titans roster's pretty good. The Texans, I think they blew the draft. Like, they wasted too much ammunition on Will Anderson. But they should be better regardless. So you never know how it's going to work out. Division games are always tough, but I can tell you
that's
what,
just
man,
why
this is a great
that's
schedule.
just why our strength of schedule is where it is.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a hard schedule, and the reason why is because people are predicting. And you know what I say? Go with Vegas. When in doubt, bet with Vegas because they know something. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know that it's scripted, but they know something. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so I'm excited. I think we got great teams coming here. I think we're a great team. It is going to be a fun season. And what's worse, we have to wait like 3 months for it to start. Damn, that sucks. Bring on some football. I'm ready for it.
It'll go by fast, man. It always does. Training camp, preseason, all that stuff's going to be here before we know it.
You know what's funny is I have been unable to find the preseason schedule when we are playing whoever. I know we play the Cowboys. We play 2 other teams, but I don't know when we're playing.
Yeah.
And you know me, I always like those Friday night games because you can start your weekend off with a decent sized party and watch a Jag game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's around the corner, and this will be an interesting off season. I would imagine it'll be a different off season. It already has been. It was a different draft, different in going into it, and different what we thought would happen. So it'll be interesting to see how we feel. I know the rookie mini camp's going on right now, so there's that, and then the fact that we're going to, be looking at all these, we'll want to see how the bottom of the roster is going to shake out. Who can make it.
Which still hurts, man. Still hurts.
What's that? What hurts?
You're never as good as you think. You're never as bad as you think.
Yeah,
Trading back. Yeah, we picked up ammo, but like I said in a previous podcast, go back and watch that. I'm not really excited about our draft. I understand no superstars, no splash. I get it. I didn't want splash. I wanted what I thought were premium quality play. I thought quality players.
Yeah.
Not back into the roster guys. At least the first 3 picks, pick them so that they can have a chance to start.
Yeah.
So
and that's what makes this compelling, because are we going to see players emerge that look like, oh, these guys should have been drafted, much higher. So we got a lot of rolls of the dice, as opposed to having better odds, let's say, than what we really wanted, and that was what we preferred. But we'll see what happens, and I think I was thinking about this because in the coaching search, when we got rid of Urban Miller, we ended up doing this weird coaching search where Doug Peterson was the first coach they interviewed, and then they went on this like going around interviewing a bunch of people and then flirting with Byron Leftwich, and then all of a sudden they went back to Doug Peterson, and we're like, now we think, man, was that a dream? Like, why would you guys have even, not ever just
right? You
Doug
didn't
Peterson,
need
right?
you didn't need to talk. Well, because you still have to satisfy the Rooney Rule. There are still other things that you actually legitimately have to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in
I
that
forget about
regard,
that. Rooney
Doug
Rule.
Peterson in the background, Doug Peterson could have always been their dude.
Yeah. And the truth is and where I'm heading on this is that things looked discombobulated during that coaching search, and yet we ended up with Doug Peterson, and who regrets that. So maybe in the same manner, the draft we watched looked discombobulated. Maybe we look back on that and go, my gosh, we got 6 of great players. Who knows?
I mean,
Who knows?
Look, it's possible. The analysts are always wrong every year. And then the NFL is wrong every year, because if they were ever right, Tom Brady would have never went the 6th round.
Correct.
So
yeah, and what happens too is the teams often, or not the teams, but the people, the analysts often like to go and be a little bit outside the box, throw out, oh, I think this guy's. We saw that with Trevor Lawrence. Oh, I actually think Zach Wilson's better. You guys hear what I said? Zach Wilson's better than Trevor Lawrence. You guys hear me? Here's my mock draft. I'm putting him up top. And then all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it, So they get all the play for having some sort of controversial pick. Nobody ever goes back to those guys later on and goes, weren't you the guy 3 years ago that said so-and-so
I remember.
is great?
And in case you forgot, it was Chris Sims.
Well, yeah. I know who it was. Chris Sims is a
and somebody else I'm not going to mention, but don't tell me about QB evaluations anymore. You done lost your card or whatever, your credentials.
now who
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I don't.
Came out right afterward. Look, anyway, I'll talk to you off camera. You know who that is.
Inside baseball.
So anyway, hey, that's the schedule. Go check it out. Hopefully they'll put the dates and times for preseason games, because I watch preseason. I like to watch our twos versus their twos, our threes versus their threes. You know, it's to me, it's easier to tell who's standing out when it's the twos and twos and threes instead of when it's Alabama versus community college substation. You know, so I like preseason. I'm cool with it. I think it's always a good time. Frank, final thoughts?
It's a great schedule. That's all I can say, and I think it. Hopefully, hopefully this is a great start to what's going to be a great season.
I agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in. I think it's a little shorter of a show than we normally do, but I'm cool with it. So on the way out, Duval. Take it easy, guys.